Hello students, uh, already I have uploaded certain lectures on political science, especially for the regular students of political science first semester. So today I am going to discuss about decentralization system, which is the course of BA first semester major students or honor students. So I think this is the last part of your course. So I have started from this. What is decentralization, or why decentralization is very much necessary? So all of us are aware of the fact that centralization means concentration of power in the hands of a particular government or few persons or like that. And decentralization means when we divided the powers between various steps of the governmental system. That is decentralization. So far as India is concerned, it is a federation, and in federation we have two types of government. One is central government and another one is state governments. So and not only central government and state governments, because India is a very big country, it is impossible for both the central government and the state governments to fulfill the needs of the people who are living in remote villages, and that's why we need much more decentralization of power. And that is why in India we have local self-government institutions also. So some powers are in the hands of the central government. Constitution has given many powers to the state governments, and along with state governments, some powers are given to the local self-government institutions. There are two types of local self-government institution in India. Some are rural local self-government institution and some are urban local self-government institution. So decentralization is very much necessary to fulfill the concept of participatory democracy, because it is the only means through number of peoples they can get the taste of how to run the administration of the country. If all powers are either concentrated in the central government or the state governments, then very few people will get the opportunity to participate in the administrative system of the country. And if there is centralization, then this arrangement may be responsible for bringing up of various kinds of pressures, tension between the people and the government, between state government and central government, between local self-government and the state government, etc. Because the more centralized the structure of a country is, the less responsive it is likely to be to popular demands. How can they able to fulfill the popular demands? Because they are sitting at Delhi, it is not possible for them to listen to what the people are thinking in a village in Arunachal Pradesh. So they become less responsive. Who become less responsive? That is the government, either central or state government, regarding what the people are thinking of. So for the successful working of democracy, centralization is not the correct way to run the administration of the country. We need decentralization. Decentralization of power and administration are today accepted both in thought and practice. All are now realize the importance of decentralization of power, and that is why the government tried their level best to make the local self-government institution much more powerful, much more vibrant, much more successful institution. And that is why 73rd and 74th amendment of the Constitution were carried on, and those two amendments are very much important to materialize the concept of decentralization of power. So once power is given to the people to order their lives in more meaningful way, they are likely to create less problems and tensions for the central and state governments. If the local people are themselves responsible to create their own fate, then they will never blame other governments. They may not even resist educate powers for the center in order to ensure integration. So they are not so much power hungry. They need certain powers, and certain powers are sufficient for them to fulfill their democratic desires. So nowadays, decentralization of power is the you remember that it is a magic key. It is a key to a whole, it is a key in the hands of the central government as well as state governments to fulfill the aspirations of the people, who will become much less revolting, who will become much more satisfied, who will become much more government oriented if it is truly implemented. So all of you are aware of the fact that decentralization is the need of the hour. So now we are going to discuss some of the objective of decentralization. So first objective of decentralization is that it provides a broad base to democracy in the country by transferring powers from the center and the states through district blocks through districts and blocks to the villages. So it is a technique of transferring power from the center and the state through districts and blocks to the villages. It also enables the people, it also helps the people to participate in democracy in a more effective way, and thus provide the much needed training ground for future leadership in the country. Those who are nowadays working in a panchayat level or in municipality level, or who become the councillor of a municipality, they may at one day become MLA or MP, and they will become much more successful because they have already got the experience of how to run the administration. So it is a training ground for democracy. Decentralization may create much more training ground for democracy. And it also gives the rural people the opportunity, to plan and administer their own affairs. They will become their own master. And that was actually the dream of Mahatma Gandhi. He was in favor of Gram Swaraj. That means the village people should be independent themselves. They should be able to run their own areas themselves without taking help from others. So it is very much necessary that decentralization will create that opportunity for the village people. Then this decentralization, or this concept of decentralization, also develop a sense of community feeling, self-reliance and initiative among the village people, because they join together, they do their work, everybody are known to everyone, all are familiar to others, so automatically it will develop a community feelings, and they will realize that we are self-reliant, we are self-dependent, we are not dependent on others, and they themselves will take the initiative for various other activities on the basis of their local knowledge. Then it also provides to the weaker sections of the community an opportunity to participate in the management of their own affairs or in the administrative affairs, because nowadays all of us are aware of the fact that for poor people it is almost impossible to become MLA or MP. We need huge amount of money to spend to win the election. So if the system of decentralization is there, then poor people will get the opportunity to taste what the administration is, how to run the administration of the country, even in local level. That also satisfied them to a great extent. Then it also aimed at ensuring quicker acceptance of new ideas in the countryside. Countryside means in rural areas. If the government is interested, or if the government passed a particular law or interested to implement certain policies, they will help the government to what I can say, to convince the people about the merits and demerits of those policies, and it will be easier for both the central government and the state government to implement their policies and programs into action. So decentralization is the need of the hour. Power should be decentralized among the state government and the local self-government institution. And decentralization needs another thing. For the successful work of decentralization, there should not be unnecessary interference by the state governments on the activities of the local self-government institutions. If unnecessary interference is not there, if regular elections take place in those local self-government institutions, if they are in a position to enjoy the real fruits of democracy, if they are financially strong, then of course the concept of decentralization will bring real democracy in India. Thank you.